Hey guys, coming at you with a deck profile. It's Gladiator Beasts, pretty standard build, couple of little techs here and there, personal choices. So yeah, here you go. First up, you got your triple test tigers. You know, for tagging out the Gladiator Beast, there's no real explanation needed for that. Double Laquari, three's a little too much. Double Darius, great for combos. It's about free special summon, free reborn for the Glad Beasts. Double Quest, great with War Chariot, and instant +1. Double Sam Knight. Now, I know a lot of people stopped running him when Rescue Cat got banned, but with some of the stuff in this deck, he's actually really useful. And there aren't a lot of cards, a lot of monsters now that are, over 1600 attack, so he can get his effect off really easy, especially with like Dandy Warrior running around where there's just tokens all over the field. Perfect targets for him. And then you got one Murmillo, Field Destruction, Hoplimus, great first play, good for stalling out people. One Ready Ari, just pick off, remove stuff from their grave. One Secutor. Yeah, sometimes he's a bad draw, sometimes you get him on the first hand, but otherwise, just the fact that you can just instantly summon 2 Gladiator Beasts and get their effects is just amazing when you play them right. One Bestiari, and then one Prisma and one Ryo. I was going to try and run 2 Prismas, but it seemed like it bogged down the deck a lot. He seemed to be a dead draw. There have been hands where, you draw into a Stratos and both Prismas, so it's quite annoying. And just one Ryo, because sometimes he interferes with stuff like Sam Knight. And on top of that, he can bog down the deck and he can be a dead draw sometimes. Alrighty, now for the spells. You got Double Respite. 3's a dead draw all the time. Double MST. And then, pretty standard, Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, and Giant Trunate. So, nothing too awkward there. And now for the traps. There's a lot of traps in this deck. You got your 3 Wolbaku. Cannot run this card at 3 with Glad Beast. It's just perfect. You got your triple War Chariot. Again, I don't see why people would even bother running this at 2. It's just that good of a card. You got Gores and Battle Fader and Tragodia running around. This will negate them. When the token comes out or when it ends the battle phase, it does negate. And also, you have all the effect monsters that are really annoying. Stuff like Fish OTK running around with Deep Sea King Colinth and stuff. Double Dust Tornado, Back Row Destruction. Here's where it gets a little weird. 1 Ceasefire. This card just does work, this format, especially with all the flip effects running around. It stops them pretty much in their tracks and does a good amount of burn damage, especially with decks that swarm the field like X-Sabers and Fish OTK. The minute they get their full field out, you can literally ceasefire for game and do, 2,500 damage. And that's also with your own monsters. You can do more than that. I've gotten up to about like 4,000. And if they solemn the last turn, it's game. 1 Random Trap Hole. This card is a little weird, a little awkward at first, but when you look around and you see how many decks... Well, when you look at your Gladiator Beasts and see how many of them actually have under 1,000 attack, this is a great little card for getting rid of the stuff that could possibly run over stuff like Murmillo or Hoplimus in attack mode. So, yep. And 1 Bottomless just to remove. 1 Random Deprison, Stardust and stuff like that. Alright. Ojama Trio. If you don't know what this card does, basically, when it's activated, you summon 3 tokens with 0 attack and 1,000 defense to their side of the field. And when these 3 tokens are destroyed, your opponent will lose 300 life points. On top of that, they cannot be tributed. this is probably the most irritating card for your opponent to get around. Because most of the time, especially with stuff like Dandy Warrior, if they dump their Dandelion with Foolish, just activate this instantly and then they can't pull off any combos because they can't Synchro Summon and they can't tribute either set of the tokens. And yes, Dandelion you can't tribute on the first turn. So it's really irritating. And then on top of this, you provide so many targets for your Gladiator Beast to tag out. This is probably one of the main reasons I run Sam Knight in the deck. Just run over these tokens, they lose 300, and then you get to search out Chariot, any of the Gladiator Beasts, Respites, all the good stuff. So yeah, great card. And then last but not least, you got your 3 standards: Solemn Judgment, Torrential Tribute, and Mirror Force. Alright, might as well show you the extra deck. Double Heraclenos, double Gyzaris, and then maybe a little bit of the side deck. So yeah, this is my side deck. I got double Light of Destruction. Yeah, Lightsworns have sort of made a comeback in my locals, and this card I also will run against stuff like Dandy Sworn, and that ran sometimes quick draw decks that run on a lot of Lightsworns, or anything that mills a lot. It's just a great card, not just for Lightsworn. Any deck that runs Lightsworn heavily, or that will mill cards. Yeah. Double E-Call, got him Z-Call, Mask of Restrict, I run this against Monarchs. Most of the time I only run this side against them simply because of the fact that Rediari will take care of any of their tribute stuff that I want to get rid of. So I don't really need too much against them, but this is just a little added bonus that'll piss them off. Double Nobleman across out. Just, yeah. Dandy Warrior, flip effects, annoying card. Double D Fisher. Just against decks that run a lot on the graveyard. Again, anything that mills. So, yeah. Pretty standard tech. Double Power Filter. This card is probably very irritating to most of the tokens. Any deck that will special summon a lot of those level 1 tuners and all the annoying shit. Dandy Warrior especially doesn't like this card because they can't summon their own tokens. Basically, neither player can special summon monsters with 1,000 or less attack. So, this kind of prevents them from doing anything too big or getting out those annoying Formula Synchrons. Double Sirocco against those Black Wings, and triple Consecrated Light because, any dark deck just hates this card immensely. So yeah, that's my Glad Beast deck. Comment, rate, subscribe, and thanks for watching.